What is going on, guys? My name is Pat from the 484, and today, kind of wanted to discuss, now that the football season is over, I kind of wanted to discuss the Seahawks season, kind of go over, not necessarily what I think is going to happen in the off season, but just kind of recap, you know, nothing short of awful season. This season, in terms of what us fans were expecting, how even what the team was expecting, we really came up short. And there's no one person to blame. There's no one unit to blame. Um, you know, I'm telling you guys right now. After I did a little bit of research, the Seahawks were about 5 field goals away from a 12-4 record. Not to say that Blair Walsh is the only thing, because Blair Walsh is nowhere close. The issue is nowhere close. The only issue that this team had. This team had so many issues this year, whether it be injuries, offensive line, offense just not doing their job. There was a lot more issues other than that. There's a lot to talk about with this Seahawks team, and us fans, we've been spoiled. We've made the playoffs for almost the past decade. We've made it ever since 2010. I'm pretty sure, ever since 2011, and this is the first year we haven't made it in a while. And whenever we and we won our first Super Bowl in 2014, got beat in 2015, and just ever since then, our team has not been the same. Ever since throwing that interception, our team has just kind of been on the decline. Really, with it, as good of a team as we've had, as spoiled as we've been, I wish we would have came out of this phase with more than just one ring. You know, I love my team, man. I'm always gonna love my team. This Seattle, I bleed blue and green. This team will always, this team makes me happy no matter what. Even if sometimes the moves aren't always good. Even if sometimes we're not always on that podium in February, at the beginning of February. Being a fan of this team, you love them in and out. Thick and thin. That's just how it is. That's how it is with that's how every fan should be. And ever since 1976, just constant, just like we were one of the worst franchises in the league before 2011. I mean, to be honest with you guys, yeah, we made one Super Bowl, got beat on some very questionable calls, but this was the decade where we finally won our first Super Bowl. But I wish we would have came out of it with more than one. Like, if you guys don't know something about me, I live near Philadelphia, and they just won the Super Bowl, and it kind of sucks because I wish my team was at the top, and I feel like that's how every fan feels. That's how the 31 other teams feel. But when you live in the area where everybody's celebrating a Super Bowl victory, and your team is just kind of like in the dumps, it really sucks. It really does. But that's not really the point of this video. That's nowhere near the point. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. You guys have been waiting over 50 years for a championship. It's great, winning your first Lombardi. There's no other feeling like it. And I really congratulate the Eagles. They had a fantastic season. And, hopefully the Seahawks can get back up to that spot. I want to see Russell Wilson at the top of that podium 7 times within the next decade. It's not going to happen, probably. But I would love it. I would love if the Seahawks could become like the next Patriots, even better. Another dynasty. But, sadly, there was a lot of questions this season. Whether, injuries to that Arizona Cardinals game where we lost Cam Chancellor for what seems to be that was his final game of his career. Richard Sherman, probably his final game as a Seahawk. Because to be honest with you guys, I really don't think that he'll be back. I feel like trading him is the best move to make, to be honest with you guys. I mean, a very big cap hit, and I guarantee we have to re-sign Earl Thomas. I'm going to make another video about that. I'm not going to talk about that today. But, we can really only keep one of those guys. We can't keep both of them. Cam Chancellor is we're actually gonna find out what happens with him on Friday. Whether or not he retires, whether or not Seattle cuts him. Michael Bennett probably going to get cut within the month. Cliff Averill probably going to retire again. Like, this team is changing in every single way, and in terms of the pieces that we have to fill those spots, like Shaq Griffin for Richard Sherman, Frank Clark for Cliff Averill, and Michael Bennett. I, there's so many questions. I feel like we're the team in the league right now, like at least like a team that was very good. We have the most questions right now out of any other franchise because we have multiple retirees. We're gonna have multiple releases. We have to re-sign a lot of key players. Earl Thomas said he wasn't pretty much gonna get on the field unless he had a new deal, which I understand. Again, I'll talk about that in another video because that's not really what the point of this video is about. I'm just gonna recap our entire season, and with that, in terms of our pieces, as I was saying, I feel like next year is gonna be a telltale sign. I don't know if it's gonna be a rebuilding year or not, guys. I really don't. Maybe we compete next year, maybe we don't. Um, in terms of Richard Sherman, as I was talking about, Shaq Griffin, Justin Coleman, Byron Maxwell, three guys that I feel like could really step into there, and I feel like Shaq Griffin is ready to take over. He's ready to take over the number one spot. Justin Coleman can play the number two spot. I really like Justin Coleman. I feel like he was one of our best pickups over the offseason, but we do have to re-sign him, and I hope they give him a pretty penny because he deserves it. He is a very good corner. Shaquille Griffin is another very good corner. In terms of Earl Thomas, I don't know. He could be gone by the end. He could be gone for all we know. Richard Sherman probably going to be gone. I'm almost positive Richard Sherman will be gone. Michael Bennett, positive he'll be gone. Cliff Averill, I'm positive he'll be gone as well, sadly. This team just has a lot of questions, and I don't know the answers to them. I don't even know if our front office really knows the answers to them because there's just so much that went wrong this season. Like, whether Blair Walsh, you can blame him, but you can also blame the offensive line. You could blame everybody. The fact of the matter is, football is a team sport. Everybody has blame. You could blame that run game, offensive line, that probably falls onto the offensive line. We really didn't utilize some of our better running backs. I feel like J.D. McKissick didn't get near the amount of usage that he should have. J.D. McKissick is someone who's very fast, can catch the ball, can even sometimes split out wide. But I feel like that really wasn't utilized that much, and I feel like that they have to pick that up next season. I'm going to make a free agency predictions video. I'll talk about who I think is re-signed, who I think is released. You guys have kind of got like a little sneak peek of that in this video. But, again, this team has changes coming to it. Whether or not they're good or bad changes, remains yet to be seen. I don't want to make this video too long, but, I just want to let you guys know this team is going to come back. This team is coming back. Whether or not it's next year, this team will come back. I feel like a lot of people got to remember we have a franchise quarterback in Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it, in my opinion. One of the best mobile quarterbacks. Like, you have Michael Vick. Hell, maybe even Russell Wilson ranks over Michael Vick because Russell Wilson is smarter, a little more accurate, doesn't have as strong of an arm, but still has a good arm. And not as fast, but he's smarter. If you have a smarter quarterback, he's easily... You know what? No, I'm going to say this. He's definitely the best mobile quarterback to ever play the game. And I'm being honest about that. Michael Vick changed the game, but Russell Wilson's the best to ever do it in terms of being a mobile quarterback. He's someone that we can really build around. Someone that can probably... he did it once, brought us to the championship. Not really brought us because he, it was really like a team effort that year. We haven't seen if he can really, bring us to the promised land. But he almost did that this year. Like, some people don't think about, he scored 97% of our touchdowns. 97%. That's insane. That's never happened before in the NFL. Russell Wilson is someone that, technically, if you ask me, was an MVP this year. Whether or not he was a league MVP, he was our MVP and probably should have been league MVP, but, considering we didn't make the playoffs, he wasn't going to win it. If your team doesn't make the playoffs, you're not going to win MVP. If we would have, I guarantee you he probably would have won MVP because that's the definition of it. Touchdown leader as well. But what sucks is, like, I feel like if we made the playoffs, we probably, going into this season, so many people had us going to the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure we were the top. We actually crossed the Patriots in terms of winning the Super Bowl, like chances of winning the Super Bowl, and we don't even make the playoffs. And it's frustrating, but there's not much we can do. We can sit back and just hope that the front office we have the front office to make good decisions and keep it for us. Keep this team competing. Us fans. Again, as I said before, we're kind of spoiled, but this is just the first of many videos I'm going to make over this off season because Seattle off season is something that is very adventurous for us. We haven't had too big of moves other than Jimmy Graham, but again, I'm gonna make a video talking about who I think is leaving, who I think is coming back, and that's pretty much it for this video, guys. It was a rough season. That's all we can say. We had Super Bowl aspirations before the season started. They didn't go as planned, but I'm hoping to come back next year, and maybe we can win it next year. I don't know. It's kind of up to the team, but with Russell Wilson, anything is possible. To be honest with you guys, just remember that with Russell Wilson, anything is possible. And also some people were saying to trade Russell Wilson, but I'm gonna say why that doesn't make any sense. So when the Saints went 7-9, I think 2 years ago, I think that was around 7-9. They didn't trade away Drew Brees. So why would we trade away Russell Wilson? A franchise quarterback is someone who goes through multiple rebuilds, goes through multiple bad seasons. This is Russell Wilson's first time not making the playoffs. This is his first time ever being on the couch for the playoffs. So if you're one of those people that are white knighting for freaking Russell Wilson, and not white knighting, but like calling for Russell Wilson to be traded, then there's no information to back that up. Like, logically, you don't trade Russell Wilson, to be honest with you guys. That would easily be the worst move this franchise has ever made. If you trade Russell Wilson, I guarantee you screw over your franchise for the next 5 to 10 years. So, anyways, my name is Pat from the 484, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to have a few more videos up in the next coming days. I know I haven't uploaded in about 2 months, but that's just because I had so much stuff going on, guys. But, anyway, I'll see you guys later.